Guys, I just wanted to update about my oldest son. If you remember last week, I took him for a consultation for a possible sleep study because of his tossing and turning and just not getting a very good restful night's sleep. They decided that he didn't need it, but they did lab work because they thought that he might have restless leg syndrome, and low iron is a culprit of restless leg syndrome. So they did a more in-depth iron count than what just your normal pediatrician would run. There's 3 different components, I think it is. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but anyhow, he has about half the amount of iron that he needs. So that would cause less restless leg syndrome and him waking up in the middle of the night and tossing and turning. And so we have to start him on iron. I need to find out what the conversion would be from the synthetic form to a whole food form, because your body absorbs more than twice the amount of a whole food vitamin and mineral than what it would a synthetic lab created. So obviously that's going to be better. I've been looking into those kind of options a lot more lately since I found out that more than 80% of your immune system lives in your gut. So obviously what you put into your body equates to how you're going to feel. And then we also took him to register for his co-op again this year since we homeschool. And while I was there, the director offered preschool to my youngest 2 children. Originally we were going to enroll our 3-year-old into public school for him to go to preschool because he really likes to be around kids his age. And our 2-year-old didn't qualify. She wasn't old enough yet. You have to be at least 3. But earlier this year, Michigan passed a law that you have to attend a vaccine waiver class. And it's only about a half hour, but it's like 40 minutes from my house. And I've scheduled the appointment twice. Both times I've scheduled, I've had to reschedule because things have come up. And then the director offered preschool for both my kids. So I'm like, well, maybe this is a sign. And we had to stop vaccinating our 3-year-old because he had a moderate reaction to his 12-month shots. And he is also allergic to some of the ingredients, and his pediatrician knew that and still recommended vaccines anyway. Whole nother story. But after his reaction, I started really researching vaccines and found out about how more than 80% of your immune system lives in your gut. And that's why a lot of the diseases that are in third world countries aren't in America, because we have better food, better sanitation, and that goes for most diseases, not just vaccine preventable diseases. Overall, the health is better here because we have better health care, better sanitation, better food available, just obviously better all around. We're not a third world country, but and I have many friends that still choose to vaccinate, and I understand that that's what they have decided is best for their family. I don't bash them, and I do not tolerate bashing against people who don't vaccinate, because most of them that don't have chosen not to because either their child had a vaccine reaction or died from them. And I think what frustrated me the most was that the pediatrician was still recommending vaccines, knowing that my son was allergic to milk. Well, he still is. He's allergic to whey and casein. My other son is lactose intolerant. And at the time, my daughter was allergic to soy. She has since been retested and is fine, thankfully. She's no longer allergic because we followed the advice of the allergist, kept her away from soy, and that just kind of resolved itself. Her allergy wasn't all that bad to begin with, but it was enough. And the allergist was explaining to us that what can happen is you might not realize you're allergic to peanuts. You eat peanut butter, you're fine. Every once in a while you might get an upset stomach, but you don't really correlate the two. And then one day you have an anaphylactic reaction to peanuts and you have no idea why. And it's because you've always been allergic. Your body just hasn't reacted that badly, and then all of a sudden it had enough. And that's why you go into anaphylaxis. So that's why he said her allergy's there for soy, No matter how bad it is, it's still there. Keep her away from it. We'll come back to this. Well, he retested her a year later and the allergy was gone, which is fantastic. But the vaccine she was getting had soy in it. Pediatrician knew she was allergic to soy. Whole nother story. I'm not really going to get into the vaccine debate. I do not want debates on my page about it. Comments will be disabled if it turns into that. Everyone has their reasons either to vaccinate or not to vaccinate. Just do your research. Cannot stress that enough, because doctors only spend about 4 hours of their college career studying vaccines. So it's up to you as a parent to look into it even more. Just leaving it at that. I do hope to get like a little couponing tip video up, hopefully within the next week or so. I've been posting videos about once a week, just whenever I have time. Basically, I only have time when I'm in the car alone, because that's when it's the most quiet. So hopefully I can get that up soon. For the people who'd like to learn to coupon, it's really not that hard, and once you've done it a few times, it's a breeze. It's just a bit time consuming, but the money you save is absolutely phenomenal. Yesterday at CVS, I got $81 worth of makeup for $9.60 with tax. So, and it was Almay. So it wasn't Wet n Wild cheapo stuff. I mean, Almay, of course, isn't top of the line, but it's pretty middle of the road. So definitely want to pass that along to people, as long as I know I have followers who want that, who have an interest in that and will use the tips. So please like and subscribe. Let me know if there are any other topics you'd like to cover, and give me a thumbs up. Have a wonderful day.